Hello, welcome to Stable and Scale, one of the places where you can learn and share wisdom. I am Lakshman. Today we are gonna discuss about securing your configurations with KeyVault for .NET Core APIs. Without wasting any time, let's get started. Let us discuss the things which we'll be seeing in this video. First, it's what's involved in configuring the key vault, then how it works, which means the steps how we'll be implementing it, and how to implement, which is the prerequisites, and we will go through the demo. So first let's check what's involved. The things involved in this content, which is actually it's the key vault, it's the primary one. Second, it is actually the Azure CLI, okay, where we will be using our connecting our Azure with using Azure CLI for the credentials and for default credentials which will be using, which will be pretty much handy on the demo. So next, which is actually .NET Core, which is we are using .NET Core as a API. So .NET Core and its SDK for us to create the projects, and at last VS Code is the IDE which we are going to use. Before getting how to implement this, let us discuss why KeyVault. KeyVault is predominantly for configuration management and secret management, okay, and certificates. So when you are using this functionality as further, the values will be so encrypted and the data can be only viewed by the authorized person. On application wise, it will be easily accessible. So that's why we prefer key vaults on using any application, either it is an Angular or any front end, back end, or any application. Key vault can be configured. Okay, so next, how to implement, how it works actually. It is once the application gets created, the key vault, the application connects with the key vault for getting the information. That's how it works. First, what we will be doing is we will be creating an Angular .NET Core project, and we'll run an API and check whether it is running. Next, we will be integrating our key vault with some imports and some configurations and files in the program.cs files, and we will create a endpoint which is accessing our own key vault information and sending back to us a HTTP response. That's all. Okay, and the prerequisites very simple actually. First, you need an Azure subscription for this. If you don't have an Azure subscription, you can just have three options, or you can use the Sandbox on which is available on the learn.azure, which is microsoft.com. There will be some links, so you can use and create some sandbox for using that key vault. So I will provide you the that informations inside the descriptions, so you can able to use it. So next is actually Azure CLI. Will once the credentials got in and you got a sandbox account, you can log in with your email ID which is actually provided. You can use that actual sandbox account on your desktop. Then we need a VS Code actually, which is actually the ID which we'll be using. Next, a .NET SDK which need to be installed, and any terminal is enough for else to run some commands. Okay, so that is the thing which we'll be seeing totally around. So next, let's start coding and write some code and check whether it is works and how to access it and in details. Okay, first let us create a project on .NET Core. So this is the command .NET new web API -n .NET 7 KVT, which is Key Vault API, which I'm gonna create now. So in the meanwhile, on the next tab, let me log in my Azure account on using Azure CLI, which is already installed. If you go on Azure account list -o table, you will able to get the subscription and which one is default. Okay, so if you want to log in, is type AZLOIN login. It will redirect to the website which is the default portal, or else if you want to use the code options, you can use -F1 help to get a lot of options here, which you can use it via code also, which is use device code. You can use this command which will redirect to the website. You need to enter the code which displays in this prompt, and you need to enter there, then your account will be get activated in the Azure CLI. Okay, so in meanwhile my project is got created. Let me go inside the .NET 7 KeyVault. So open the code in VS Code. We have now created it. Let us run this default application .NET. First build it before running it actually. So it will get build my API first, and it first restores all my Nugget packages, and then it builds my application, which is API. Okay, and it can be even integrated with any Azure web apps also. It will be a same mechanism, because we will be using the configuration as a information which will be using. So irrespective of it can be API or a web app, you can use the same methodology for integrating that VS, which is in the KeyVault. Okay, so now it's added. Now let's run it. .NET run. Our default so port is 5125. Okay, just localhost 5125. So this is the weather API. Its default comes in. Oh, it's 5127. Sorry. So I got some informations regarding the weather informations as default APIs, and I'm gonna currently stop it, then add some packages, which is the Azure KeyVault secret package first. So this will add. Next, I need an Azure identity for me to connect with the default Azure credentials running on the local. In connecting with the KeyVault, there was two options which actually available. One is via default credentials via Azure login in the system. The second one is actually you generate a certificate, which is PKS12 certificate on local one, and that file need to be uploaded in our Azure Active Directory in the web app registration, which is you need to app registration, and you need to upload this certificate, where you can access it via actual certificate which is for the system. Okay, which is only this system and its certificate can able to access that application, and from that application it's getting connected to the Azure KeyVault. Okay, so now this one is got added. I thought yes, it's run. At last we need a Azure configuration service secret. So it is helps you to add the KeyVault configurations into the system. So I have added all the three. Then the next one I need to add it actually. Let me open it up in app settings and go into configuration and add the KeyVault. The KeyVault is already created actually. You can it is available. You can able to create it on the Azure. How it I have created its YouTube KeyVault as default. So how to create it, I will show you a small case. As default, you need to go and search for KeyVault. My case I created recently, so I can click it, and I need to specify some specifies the resource group and some KeyVault names and in which region and the standards. Once this is done, we need to go for next. For access policy, defaultly the user's access policy will be there, and next you need to select which endpoint, which is it can be in internet or in selected networks, or you can have a VNet also. depends upon the keywords which we need. So once all is done, you can just review and create actually. So once that is done, you will able to view the key vault. In key vault I will be going for secrets. I already created a secret as default message. Let me create a new one. It is manual, it's not certificate. Okay, kvt hyphen message. So this is a default message from key vault. So it's actually secret, so I'm typing default message from the key vault. Okay, and the content can be optional, so I made it activate. It can be set in certain period of time activation also. So now I'm creating it, and the key vault messages got created. You can able to do it from here, or you can even do it from actually the code, or else you can use via Azure CLI. I will add those commands in the description. Okay, how commands. Okay, so now it's got created and the key vault is got done. The next thing we need to go is the program.cs file. Here what we need to do is we need to build a dot okay, let me add some informations. Services dot add. For the keyword I need to use add a certain thing, right? We need to import this. Let me get it from the different one. Just all there to make it easy and simple for you all. So this is the Azure Key Vault configuration. What we gonna do is we gonna go use it and open it. It will throw up some messages. Before that, let me add default credentials here. For this user credentials, we need Azure dot identity. Then the next one is actually the secrets. This one, which if you scroll it down, you can able to add the actual URL, comma, new dot default credentials. We can able to use this actually. We don't need this line and the comma here. So and it is a configuration, so that's why it didn't came up. So I'm added a configuration there. Now the Azure Key Vault is there and the Azure credentials is there, so it's got added. The next thing, which it's actually pretty much simple here. So the things on the program DS is got done. Let me open it up and run it, whether it gets run. And I prefer you to run it on the command prompt, because Azure CL is connected on the power on the command prompts, which is in the terminals. Don't run that on the application, which is if you are connecting with default credentials on the VS codes editing, which is debugging options. Okay, so here it's 5127 now. 5127 now. The app is got run and it's got done. Okay, next thing which we will be doing is we will create a new controller. Let's make copy paste this. It won't be a weather forecast. It's a key. It's a key vault. No, this is key vault. This is key vault. This is get message. This is get, and I am returning a action result, which is okay. But for this I need the configurations, right? Let me take that private read only. I configuration underscore configuration here, comma I configuration configuration configuration. I got a configuration now. What I will doing is configuration. As I'm gonna access this key vault, let me go here and copy it and paste it here. I did not configure any key vault messages either way anywhere, so I just configured the key vault name which we need to access. That's the only informations which I provided. And as we are using it directly in a build configuration, kindly configure that in the app.setting.json instead of development.json. Okay, so once it's all set and done, let me copy that and stop our application and run it. Okay, in the meanwhile, with the .NET you can use secrets in the normal development application also, which is .NET. Okay, let me give you some options here. .NET, if you go for help, you will able to get some options which is called secrets. You can see there was some dev certificates and dev secrets and users JWT users secrets. So this, by this you can even manage your secrets in local. So when you are going to deploy this application on the in cloud in Azure, okay, in that on that time you can create your key vault, and the same way which works on a user secret, it same way it works on the Azure also. So you can use Azure secret as a command here, -help. It will provide you a lot of options that you can do able to do. You can initiate secret message and you can list the secret message, and you can remove it, and you can set it, and you can able to clear it. The only thing you need to run is you need to run it on a project. In the project directory you need to run it. Actually, when it is run, you can just create, set, and those values can be accessed inside the configuration option. Okay, so now our application is got running. So let me duplicate this page and let's key vault. So default message from the key vault. If you see default message from the key vault, and you see the here show the secret default message from the key vault. At any point of time, if you want to add a new version, you can just go there, updated message from key vault. So let me show this updated message from the key vault. So when it is created, the existing one gets deactivated and the new one gets activated. Okay, now if I refresh the page, it won't refresh actually. So what I need to do is I'm gonna need to stop it and then go to the program.cs file and add comma, where you can see there will lot of payload options there. If you go inside there will be token options, there will be some other options, KeyVault managers, secrets, and configurations. You can see here Azure KeyVault configuration options. If you go here and new KeyVault configuration options, and we need to add that secret here. Now refresh interval equal to, you need to set some certain refresh intervals here. So let me take this from the example. Because once the applications got deployed, you can't able to go and run the application's information every time, right? So what we could able to do was add the refresh rating option. Okay, what we could do is refresh intervals is actually looking for a time span dot for seconds. I made it 5 for every 5 seconds that it will get refreshed. Now let me run it. So the configurations informations they getting updated from the key vault. Okay, even after the application is currently running, you can able to pull that information, because once the application got started, it won't update. So now you can see the updated message from the key vault. Now what I will go into is I'm going to create a new version now, the same information. After refresh, you open it up, fresh timeout set on code. Okay, so now what I'm going to show is I'm going to create it, and it's got updated here. What it will, I'm going to is if I refresh it, after refresh timeout set on the code. So the code, which is the information which I updated on the key vault, it's got updated. Previously it's not updated, now it's got updated. Okay, so this is how we can able to fun for a deployment for production. This has to be there if the value is going to change from other environments or from other applications. This is need to be added. Okay, irrespective of if the application got deployed, you need to make some changes on the application, on the API or any web app, you can able to use this options here, but it has to be in the production. So the applications need not to be refreshed. Okay, once the any configuration is changed. So that comes up in the end of this demo. So you can able to learn a lot as in the key vault, because key vault is the most predominant one which will be using as further, because if you can able to connect with .NET APIs, or any, if you're gonna use some dockerization of this API which still works, and you can able use it on a Kubernetes cluster for any user secrets, and it's all depends on some informations and certificates which needs has to be. So I have shown you how to use the secrets in the .NET APIs. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification on so you won't miss out any latest or greatest in technologies. So see you in the next one.